When Alice was still in the development, she was actually the silly and happy one. Her eyesight sucks. She does have glasses though. She just doesn't wear it all the time. I stutter a lot, so anyway, Alice sees her father's apparitions. This was caused to her walking in. At the same time, her father's heart gave up. Yet she can't do anything to save her in time. Instant haunts her then. Might be a little useless of a fact, but Alice had beaten Aaron in a game night, probably a couple hundred times by now. Her and Valerie almost kissed once. Well, I don't think that fact is true anymore. Almost, 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 Buster. She's quite clingy to her girlfriend. I don't know why I sighed. I'm sorry. The reason that is that she never had a partner before, but now she does. She doesn't want to have anyone else. Alice and Aaron has a pet cat named Cheesecake. Not sure when she was a part of the story. And no, this isn't a newly conformed thing. Cheesecake literally predates Aaron. Even his first design wasn't. Okay, are you gonna post the image now, Buster? I don't think your family's gonna check you out. You don't have to worry. Though she works for Jade now, she'd rather go back and do her work at the pizzeria. But hey, Jade's pay is better, so it's kind of better if she stayed working with her. If Alice fucks her legacy self, the legacy Alice would be the one to come out alive. Dang, that sucks. If Alice would Alice would sometime make Aaron play some of their horror games on their game night, which often doesn't go well. No. Honestly, if she had a voice, I imagine her to sound like Anna Meanie Side from Emma Dream Barbecue. Dream Barbecue. Dream Barbecue. Voice like Kolanop. No, Nola Clop. This isn't a fact, but like after I thought about it, she's tall, smart, kinetically good at sports, and hell, she's freaking ripped, for God's sake. I can imagine the boys at her school going crazy for her. Just all their hopes to get destroyed after knowing she's a lesbian. Her first canon. Mistletoe. Fact. The mistletoe was a trap set by Aaron. That's actually kind of funny. Okay. Aaron is even worse. Somehow. He's one fact worse. Anyways, Aaron was originally supposed to be the older sibling, but I thought the older brother and younger sister duo were just too common, so I kinda, de-aged them. That's kinda weird. When Aaron was still in development, one of his many scraps designs is him being a girl. Yes, Alice was gonna have a younger sister instead of a younger brother. Even though I don't have the design, now I do remember that she was Aaron's second to final design. If you're wondering, Aaron has like 3 to 4 designs. I don't clearly remember though. However, I do remember the design where he was bald. It was pretty funny. Can you post the picture now? Not really a fact, but I made Aaron so feminine and girly that even myself sometimes I accidentally use she or her to represent Aaron, but I'm writing some lore. That's kind of crazy, man. What? Well, I have a fan on, so maybe that's the problem. You hear me now, Buster? Aaron would often try to sleep by himself to overcome his fear of being alone, but you guessed it, he failed. He has a teddy bear that Alice bought as a birthday present for him. He still cuddles with it. Aaron knows how to get a girl's hair done. Okay. Aaron's personality is based off Serial Destination N, the murder drones, and I can't pronounce that, from Olympus Company. However, it kind of leans more to Dawn. Aaron isn't good with horror games, even though Resident Evil 2, 1998, is his favorite. Not really a fact, but after some thought, his personalities and what he has to do with a job, he would low-key love Ultra Kill. Low-key, if he had a voice, he'd probably sound someone like Brother from FNAF in real time, voice decaying Max. Due to his entire life with his big sister, Aaron had adapted to her nature and started to become more and more girly, eventually leading him to painting his nails and turn bi. Why and when? I finally decided Aaron's pronouns will be he, they from now on. Can you post the image already? I'm not... This is gonna take forever. And I don't want you to scam me, Buster. Post it, post it, post it, post it. No. No, 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 no. If I read the entire thing, you're gonna leave the game and lie to me. Okay. I'll do it, but you have to pinky promise that you'll do it. You have to pinky promise that you'll post it, and I'll read all this. Alright, now we continue. Yeah. Valerie's the shy character of the series. She works as a guide in a Robloxia's laboratory museum to replace her retired father. And if you're wondering about her mother, she left, not dead though. She's a sweet tooth, though her favorite is caramel. She's smart enough to build gadgets of her own, which she had built her own robot assistants. Move out of the way to help her with guiding her work called Sage. Valerie would leave the museum every time Alice started her shift to go take care of Erin. Sage would take over her job at this time period. Valerie would also build small gadgets or robots for Erin to play with when she has to take care of him. Valerie has no idea that her girlfriend worked for Jade, let alone knowing the existence of Jade. Sometimes she would go on a date with Alice, and who will take over Erin's care at this time? You probably know. Sage. She built Sage to run on batteries. She even built Sage her own charger. Okay. Initially, Valerie wasn't planned to be a scientist, but rather Alice's school crush, which by the love of God, this idea freaking sucks. Valerie is 5'8", initially she was 5'5", but that became Erin's height instead. But either way, she's still shorter than Alice. She never tried video games before, but after she got together with Alice, she found it pretty fun. Honestly, she might sound someone like Toy Chica from Ultimate Custom Night. She's the only one fitting that I found so far, voiced by Emily Connors. Since Valerie is a scientist, she would make use of Bakey's power by making her look into either the past or future, and toward the results, Valerie would use them to write information to show down and study with it. She can draw better than everyone here, and contradict this, her handwriting sucks. She sucks with spicy foods. No, Bakey fact. Can you just post it now? Okay. Bakey fact. Bakey's pronouns are she, they, apart from their appearances being clear female, their voices being shifted multiple times to spaces changing, sometimes even changing their entire gender. Her first design was a normal Robloxian, not the current complex and unsustainable one she has now. That's crazy. She's the daughter of Jade, not born like any other child, but rather broke out of her own mother's body. This was due to both of them being fourth-dimensional beings. Okay. Why? Her clothes are made of the spaces she is able to change and manipulate around her, which you know what that means. What does it mean? that sounds creepy, dude. Due to her and Jade being fourth-dimensional being, their bodies are actively held together by their abilities to manipulate space and time. If it stopped for even a second, they would vanish immediately. However, they won't die. We humans are just able to see them, and she would need some time to rebuild herself again. Because of her body being made out of just space and time crushed and compressed and held together, they're able to quickly wear off her compressed spaces to take out a piece of tesseract out of her body. And by quickly, it is actually fast enough our human minds can't process, or comprehend, or react to time. We can know how quick. She is, ironically, the most freaking complex character or thing. I don't know what to call them anymore. I freaking conceived. Due to her being fourth dimensional, it is unclear how old she is, as they are actively time itself, which means that they could still be a baby, a child, a teenager, or an adult at the same time. But theories might die. Researchers that she is in her teenage. as it is quite clear that they are growing. Additions to the previous fact. Oh god, it's coming. Oh god. Additions to the previous fact, because they are time itself, they are looking into the past, present, and future at the same time. She often does this for entertainment. She did say she doesn't look like looking into the past very much. What did she do? This thing is friends with Aaron, of course. Oh no. No. The following explanation will be all our complexities base itself if you want to read. I have to read. Because of her being fourth dimensional, she can pass through. Move! She can pass through. I'm gonna kill you. She can pass through physical objects. They are basically untouchable in combat. Speaking of that, her abilities, the absolute tesseract, or just literally a piece of themselves. As stated before, they can wear off the compression around their body to take a piece of her own out of her body. These pieces of tesseracts do have some capabilities, and consisting of 4 capabilities in total, being move, extend / shorten, copy and paste, create, and shoot. Let's start with shoot first, as it is the one that connects to the others. After taking out the tesseract, they can shoot they can shoot in any directions. It doesn't matter if the sword options. Blocking it, as it's fourth dimensional, it will simply pass through. She can make it stop on anyone or anything by compressing the spaces around the said tesseract. This sounds like Noli, making it able to hit objects again. After hitting said objects, it will begin a link. This Bakey sounds like Noli. Honestly. Bakey sounds like a Noli skin. It does so as objects blocking it, as it's fourth dimensional. It will simply pass through. She can make it stop on anyone or anything by compressing the spaces around the said tesseract, making it able to hit objects again. After hitting said objects, it will begin a link, and with this link, is she able to connect it to any of the uses of the tesseract? Let's talk about them now. Oh god. It became an active fourth-dimensional object, allowing it to pass through solid objects such and such. and if compressed spaces around it are released, it will regain three-dimensional self again. It's three-dimensional self again. Ugh. 3D. Extend / torsion being fourth dimensional doesn't mean you can only manipulate spaces and time, but spatial dimensions too, with length and depth. They are able to manipulate spatial dimensions of any linked objects, changing its appearance depending on the dimension she chose. They are able to do this until the linked object exceeds the comprehension of our human minds, leading us to seeing nothing but empty spaces. Copy and paste. She's able to copy active spaces around the linked objects to create another out of empty spaces. However, she can also paste the copy object inside itself, which we've done multiple times. We will complete the deletion of the linked object. At least in our eyes, it looks like complete deletion. Create. This compatibility doesn't require any linkings. They can just do it on their own, like the name implies. So you can manipulate a space, times, or spatial dimensions of any empty spaces. Then we'll create a textualist object. However, be materialize into anything. She messes with their spaces again. But what does time have to do with this? Since they can look into the past, in time, into any empty spaces. Oh, past, present, and future. She is also able to bring objects to from any period of time to any empty spaces. Why so many empty spaces? Leading to more advanced technologies or more studies about the past. Her creation ability is paired with her deletion ability, which doesn't need explaining. Okay, the rest of this should be easy now. She doesn't need to eat, drink, or nor sleep to survive. However, they do find a human body, food, drinks quite enjoyable to consume. They would instantly be disappointing us in humans if they looked into 2025. That's true. Since her mother is mostly operating the foundation, she doesn't get much family time with her. But since she's friends with Aaron, they usually come to the Evermore's home. I forgot their last names are Evermore. Bakey and Aaron would always hang out together when Bakey is at his house. They would often play with Bakey's space and time manipulations, not very safe. Since Bakey can interact with spaces itself, they would usually use that to change Aaron's appearances into literally anything, even turning him into a plushie once. And yes, she has gender bent him before. Can Bakey gender bent me? She's never tried video games before until Aaron introduced her to it. She could do all this, but she has never seen a video game? What? They're quite close to Valerie after Aaron introduced her to them. Alice is okay with it due to Bakey not having interest in other girls. Okay. Bakey had looked into both lesbians' future before she refused to tell what she saw, only leaving a hint saying congratulations. Okay. Bakey would sometimes recreate the unreleased games from the future by just quickly looking into the space layout of the game and recreate in present time, all to play with both siblings, sometimes Valerie, if she is free. Okay, we're almost done. Since they can't die, it is unnecessary for her to reproduce. However, she can if she wanted to. She doesn't need a partner to do it just by bending the space and time to either make a son or a daughter. You spell daughter wrong. Of her choice of how she reproduces. I think you spelled daughter wrong. I can't tell. There's two H's. That's not how it feels. I think. Bakey doesn't have any eternal organs, but anything that got inside her body would be instantly bent beyond space and time until there's nothing left, acting as some sort of digestive system. Post. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta see this. I want to be traumatized, man. No. I gotta see it first. Let me at least see it first. I'll tell you when I see it. Alright. not as bad as I expected it because it's just a sketch. You can't really even tell, actually. I bet that isn't the real one, though. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was actually going to be because you can't even see their faces. I thought it was going to be like a side angle. Gladly it isn't. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna make this an unlisted video.